Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Career Mode. This is episode 56. It's Il Lombardia. We're here to wrap up our season, at least in a short while anyway. This last race, and then we'll quick sid to the end of the season and look over the stats and get into the new year, possibly. We'll see timing-wise. I'm still recording this one a little while back, trying to get caught up on things after the week that I have just had trying to get a lot of work done, and going to start the project going the other direction from tear down to build up. Well, anyway, there is some big news with the team, but we'll get to that after the race. But in the meantime, for this one, first off, it's into October, and we're into that phase of the season is wrapping up, and I don't have any objectives for this. I don't have any fitness peaks for this, and we've got some guys that are winding down the year. The training's not the same, the fitness levels aren't the same, fatigue is high in the legs of some. Expected race day condition was a -1 for the entire group, and that's what we have net as a whole. Krantz is injured, but it's tiny. It's a grazed wrist. He fell off his bike and scraped up his his wrist, and that was it. No actual injury otherwise, but that didn't stop him from getting a -3 race day condition. But no, also on a -3 and a couple -1s means we are going for the guys with the better race day condition, expecting them to be able to compete a bit better for this one. But speaking of competing, over the last month, from the end of La Vuelta until now, we have pulled some results. Lenny Martinez came away with a win. Krantz came away with a stage win, a podium, second behind Martinez on the stage that Martinez won, and then hung on and won the overall. That was in the Crow race, the Croatian race. And then Pithy also won a minor race somewhere, somehow, on a punchy finish. Lightly punchy, one of those crosses between punchy and sprints, which is definitely his area of strength. And we've now got 82K to go. We do need to get water one last time, and we're seeing the first of our long distance punchers / classics guys kind of going for it here on this one. Much too early, if you ask me. But we do need to get water one final time, and it was not Krantz who I wanted to be getting it, but he is a domestique for the day, so okay, fine. Bogley was the one who got it the previous 2 times. Alright, and away we go. Do think we need to probably, in the near future, up the effort a little bit. Let's say to a 79 for now. Front group is very much split up as the first of a double climb here is done. The secondary part is about the same as the first part. You get this little break in between, heart rate gets down, you get a little recovery in, makes it very much not as bad. But Gonzalez and Arrieta looking the strongest at the moment. Vermark looking like the favorite to go for the stage itself. And Bogley looking a little weak. Here we go. Coma di Sormano, 5K, 12%. It's brutal. Brutal, and we're nearly to the top. Krantz, Bano, Bogley starting to fade, and the field is splitting into quite a few groups. So looking back, Coop, well gone. He is way out the back. 5.5 minutes down already. Bano is just ahead of him, so he's gone. And Krantz just got dropped through all of that, so he's gone. Bogley might still regain contact here. 79 was definitely not enough for him, especially with that negative race day condition. This group like I said, might be close enough to regain contact. R3 are not in the Peloton, but now it's back together, so there you go, they're okay. They held on, and we got them through it. So we've got 3 contenders, and then Bogley is in the chase group that's trying to catch those guys. Vingegaard lost contact with these guys, and we gotta catch back up. Front 7, still a minute 40 advantage. Depending on the chase and the effort of the chase, they'll come back pretty quick. Alright, so for Mark, we've got the 80 hills, plus good acceleration, decent sprint, but not a great climber. Arrieta, definitely stronger, maybe even a little bit better with the sprint. So they've got a great chance. Now Gonzalez actually is fairly punchy himself. Really, you can't go wrong with any of these guys. For Mark, maybe based on fatigue, not as good mountain rating, might have to, give it to one of the other guys. And meanwhile, here is Bogley in that chase group. And they just came together with a group behind them. Now I'm really not wanting them to catch that front group, but it's a 2.5 minute advantage. And we've caught that front 7. The front 7's probably not going to be hanging on very long, so we're looking at 33 contenders. We have just 3 of them, so it's not like a dominant type day, as you're seeing Alaphilippe, Roglic, Bernal. First attack after the tunnel will begin the final 2 climbs. And I think we want to set ourselves to about an 85 for this. I'm very tempted to use Vermark to protect one of the other 2 and pick an actual leader, but I just can't get myself to do it at the moment. 4K.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
Right now, what we're getting is individuals attacking and no response. So we're going to use Vermark as the weaker climber. And then Gonzalez in between. The Arrieta, punchiest and strongest on the day. And Vermark, he's got a chase. Yeah, there is a response within the field here. But you're getting a lot of guys that are really feeling it already. Vermark actually didn't even really have the space, so he's just kind of in response mode at the moment. But we're going to see this group split in half, I would think, here momentarily. So far, just 7 riders dropped. It could be actually it's more than 7, it's 9 riders dropped. I wouldn't be surprised if all or most of the 7 that were in the group have been dropped. The break. Vermark is nearly done here. On to Gonzalez.
The finish line is getting close.
Continue
the
on.
riders have just passed the 15 kilometers road sign.
Bogley, meanwhile, set him to auto. Have a quick look up through the field, very quick. See, we're split out all over the place. Van Aert, Gross-Schartner, Martin, Moss, Champison, there's Vermark, Almeida, Storer, Yates, just 22. Pogacar right at the back of the group. And we made that last little push there that dropped 10 riders. And just 1 climb left to go. And Arrieta and Gonzalez both looking pretty dang good. 10K to go. This is not the Il Lombardia we've seen many times where there's still, 40, 50 riders left at this point. This is a very select group making a big push, and you've got 8, 10 guys that just tried to attack on that little flat area, on that little descent. 99 for Gonzalez, setting up Arrieta. Ayuso tried to attack there, and Gonzalez is done. On to Arrieta. Utterbrooks and Godou, Evenepoel Bernal. And we're getting over the top. This is it. Arrieta does not have anything left for the attack, though. 14 riders now at the front. Arrieta leading that out with 4K to go. Gonzalez for Mark. Poor for Mark. Got left on the auto attack. So there's Johannesson, Skjelmos, Pogacar, Charmig, and Roglic. We've left those guys behind. Bardet, Garcia, Buitrago, Brenner, Van Gils, Gloag, Bernal, Gaudu, Ayuso, Tabiri, okay, Titterbrooks, Schachmann, Evenepoel, and Arrieta. Arrieta sitting on 3K to go. He's got enough to sprint now. Inside 3K, could sprint. It's back together just a little bit as that secondary chase group is catching back up. 2K to go, 1.8. And here we go, sprinting out of it, 1.4. It's still a little downhill, so you can sprint a little bit earlier, but we are not leaving anybody behind, and we're going to fade right at the end. Do we even get a top 10 here? I don't think so. These guys did the same thing. They all went at the same time, but they all held on longer, meaning their resistance was a bit better than ours. And we end up at the very back of the group, 16th. That was worse than last place from the group because the group behind caught back up. Gonzalez finished 19th. So, yeah, really poor for Arrieta. And he was there. He was in with a chance at a podium until 200 meters to go. 200 meters. He was in the top 3. Finish line, 16th. Not the way we wanted to finish the last 200 meters of the season, essentially, even though there's still a little bit of racing to do, but not racing I'm going to bother with. Close. Very close. He still had the yellow bar, too, so, I mean, he still had that ability to ride. He just faded right at the end, and faded big time. Ayuso did as well. He was the other protagonist there at the end. And Schachmann, Ucha Brooks. Ucha Brooks was the other one, too, and he somehow made it to the finish, all the way to the end. Had something left. He's a 79 base, but whatever it was, well, it's the resistance, I think, is the difference. Arrieta, with even with the +3, was still only a 76. Okay, end of season. Transfer market has just closed. Biggest move was Koish going to Jumbo-Visma. Oh, no. That's where he's leaving. He's going to Bora Hansgrohe. Carapaz is heading to Lotto Soudal from Astana. Jakobsen to Astana. Bogli, EF Easy Post. Wright to UAE. Lopez to Groupama FTJ. Simmons to UAE. Gaudu to Ineos. Nice, who we were targeting, to Arkea Samsic. Almeida to Groupama FTJ. And Pedersen to Drone Hopper. We have improved our index from 15th to 9th with 1 level up. We now have our 5.5-star man, and it's Lenny Martinez. So Lenny Martinez, the 22-year-old leader of the team, who has that 6-star potential in the stage racing and the climbing, though the time trialing is, mediocre, but you can see he's done with his mountain rating. It is capped out based on the web matrix, but it's 82. So he is capped out at an 82, and that is a competitive number. 77 Hills is also very competitive. We could do a lot with that. Flat at 65 is quite weak, but we've got some areas we can improve. It looks like time trial is what we need to turn his attention to now. So we need to change him off of stage racing and put him on time trialing if we are going to get a little bit more, as that mountain rating appears to be capped. So stamina resistance, good enough. Recovery, so-so for a GC guy. I think we're talking about more of week-long races. as opposed to him going out and trying to win the Tour de France. Can he get top 10s in a GC, in a Grand Tour? Yes, I think he absolutely can, but I don't think he can win with that profile, especially when he's not going to get any better here. But Martinez can absolutely be our GC guy for a Grand Tour. I just don't think he's going to be competing for the win. I think we can get him in top 5s, no problem. But with that healthy boost, we move up the grid quite a bit on where we're going to be for next season. Arceus Samsic, with the big signing of Thibaut Nice, right? Is moving into World Tour status next year at the expense of somebody, and that somebody being AG2R. The only team going down, and they are just going down. Looking at the other top Continental Pro teams for next season, Israel Premier Tech still not back in. Trinity Racing, Drone Hopper, Minsk are up there. Cofidis, it's the usual suspects for the most part in the Continental Pro level. Joining them at the bottom end, Leopard coming up. That's the big one that's going that way. YOLO, B&B both going down. Surprising there. Big teams to be struggling. World Tour individual rankings, Pogacar was on top this season, just ahead of Vingegaard and then Bernal. Those three definitely ran away with things. They were within 400 points of each other. It was 700 to Moss. Roglic, strong finish the season, up to 5th place. Van Aert, Arnsman, Plapp, Stewart, Higuita. We didn't get anybody in the top end of the rankings, but Gonzalez and Martinez both in the top 25. Vandenberg, McKellar, Bogley, all in the top 50. Pithy, Arrieta, even Mikkels and Vasek in the top 75. And rounding out the top 100 for Mark, Bonneau, and Hoggins, all getting inside there. Danny Martinez for Jupiler crushed the Continental rankings this season. I don't know about this Hugo Page, but I did see a message recently that he wants to sign with us. Decent sprinter. Vingegaard actually topped the Super Prestige rankings ahead of Pogacar, and here is where we shined a bit stronger, as we did well with World Tour, but we did really well with Continental races this year. And Gonzalez, 11th, just missing the top 10 as an individual, but that was the thing. We are a well-rounded team, and we do not have just a single leader that we go after all the time. McKellar, all the way up in 25th. Good for him. Martinez was 30th. And Pithy also making it into the top 50. As a team, we did finish 4th in the World Tour rankings. That's pretty solid. That's a good result this year, and we'll look to get even higher into that top 3. Really, I'd say based on these rankings, we'd look to get up to at least 2nd next season. Okay, Samsic on top of those Continental rankings. In the Super Prestige, was also 4th. Same order, really. Same order at the top. Arceus Samsic up in 14th. Was the highest crasher of the party of the World Tour teams. But that was a good year. And that's a really good year. In terms of the channel and the Decathlon ratings, it's just divide by 10. So 588. My goal, to do what Ineos did this season. That's a 1,000-point season right there. So this is what I base my rankings on. So we're going to look to increase this score by quite some margin next season. Like I said, I'm aiming for 2nd place based on what we have here, or at least 3rd. Jumbo-Visma is still going to be hard to overtake. But if we can get up to 8,000 plus points next season, that would be that step in the right direction. And of course, what was missing from this season is being a GC contender. Our sprint should be similar next year to what it was. In fact, let's take a look at the team. We'll look at the number of wins here first. We topped out at 33, which was good enough for third. Down 3 riders is going to be a little bit harder, but 2 out of 3 of the bottom feeders are gone from the team and not coming back. We had a few 4-star guys, but now it's down to just 2. So Garzon, Izumi, and they're both, big time prospects. So we have no just domestiques on the team anymore. There was 3 of them. Shigai was the other guy. Shigai is now a 4.5-star talent. He was just a 4-star talent at the end of the year. Those departures, Lacasek going out, Frigo, Culverwell, Coop were very much domestiques. I do not like losing Bano, but as a Belgian, it's freeing up a lot of good Belgian riders for us potentially in the future. Coop, decent rider, but we're getting Johannes Peters in his place. High potential. You can already see 78 hills, 75 flat, 75 stamina, 80 resistance, 74 recovery is big because you can put this guy into a sprint classification and go for a jersey. 78, 76 on the sprint is good but not amazing, but he could potentially win a green jersey for you based on kind of that well-rounded profile. He can get into a lot of intermediate sprint classification challenges and fare well in a regular sprint, especially if we can boost that sprint a little bit more. So Johannes Peters is a big addition for us and is the highest rated addition at the moment at 5 stars. But Piccioni, Bach, Garzon, Izumi are all big time signings. They're big additions, high potential kind of guys. 5 new faces with 7 going out. Bogley obviously is the one that hurts. I didn't want to lose Pithy either, but with Pithy, he was just too expensive to try to get back, and we had to sacrifice that one. But Pithy is really just, he's got the 77 hills with the capable sprint, but that's being replaced by Petters. So we do have that trade-off 1-for-1. Losing Bogley hurts a little bit, but again, he was looking for like 90K, and we're bringing in some really, really solid replacements. But in the case of Bano, he's just balanced, and same with Coop, balanced but not as good. Culverwell was a poor man's puncher and nothing else, so I'm not going to miss that one. Same with Frigo. Frigo was okay-ish, but he was just not strong at anything. So the only one that I'm really going to miss, Bogley was just finally getting that, like, ooh, he's doing something. And then Bano. I am going to miss Bano. But I think we've already replaced Pithy right off the bat. Case of Piccioni, hey, there's your Bano right there with potential. So, okay, good on that one. Bach, great flat rating, good sprint, very high potential, and can time trial something we haven't had. He's adding a lot to the team, and he's very high potential as well. Garzon, there's your replacement for Coop, I'd say. And, there's no worry about these losses. Azumi adds in another well-rounded guy who's got really high potential, especially as a climber, I believe it was. So I am excited by the group we have. We are losing, the Bogley part. That hurts a little. Rating from right now, today, to, start of the season is coming down slightly. But Last year we started 16th. This year we're starting 9th. So we have gone the right direction big time. That was just through progression. And that's bound to happen from time to time where you're not going to re-sign everybody. And our best guy for next season, Martinez, current ratings anyway, today, October 21st, Martinez has another year on his contract. Pater's new guy coming in. Bausch has another year on his contract. So we do have 5 expiring 5-star contracts. But we've already got the best guy locked up. We're probably going to only be able to re-sign 1 to 2 of these guys. There is going to be some outgoing money with some of them, but some of them were signed on the cheap. So we'll see where we're at. That's a whole year ahead of us, but doesn't hurt to take a look and see what your prospects are like for the future. What I do like is we have a lot of 4.5-star talent locked up. Vashek, that's probably one that's expiring and going to be gone. But look at what is expiring. Vashek, Gonzalez, Vermark, Arrieta, Vandenberg, Krantz. It is kind of high-end talent, but it's a lot of 5-star guys. With some of those being young ones that you want to hang on to. Vandenberg, 26, isn't going to improve anymore. He's probably going to be gone. But you have Krantz. You have Arrieta. Vermark's 25, so he's probably going to be gone. Gonzalez, as much as I love Gonzalez, he's not going to get much better than he is. So he's going to be gone. So we're going to be probably trying to re-sign Krantz and Arrieta. And that's it from the group. And then we'll be bringing some new guys in. That didn't take long to evaluate, did it? But you already have a 5.5-star, you have a 5-star, and a 5-star talent. So we are already probably a lock for World Tour a year from now. It's not something we're going to have to worry about too much anymore. And if we can get those 2 guys re-signed, we still have some really good talent. But thing about those 2 is if they hit 5.5 stars, 6 stars before the end of the season, re-signing them is going to be... Again, we only have that one change in World Tour, and it's AG2R. They are identical, but they're going down. That's harsh. Champison, that sucks for him. But you can see they only have 4 guys 5-star better. Very quick look at the rest. You got 2 5.5 stars, 2 5 stars. They don't have the depth we have for Alps and Phoenix. Astana, just 4 guys that have 5 or better. And then us, crazy deep. Bora, also crazy deep. Koish, 3 5.5 star guys, just insane. They're strong. Bahrain, kind of deep. EF, similar. Groupama, 4 5.5 star guys. That's pretty tough, and some decent support. Ineos, strong as always. Jumbo-Visma, strong, but maybe not as deep as they normally are. We're going to be not far off from them. But then, Pogacar, 6-star. Just insane ratings in 3 categories. Lotto Soudal, 1 outright leader and a few support. Movistar not looking that good. Pretty weak. Lucky to still be World Tour. Quick Step, fairly deep, fairly strong. Reminds me of us, but a little more refined. Bike Exchange drops off pretty quick. That you're down to 4-star already down here. Be nice when we can get to the day where we can afford 28 to 30 riders. Not strong, but deep for DSM. Trek, 1 leader, and not deep. UAE, 3 leaders, but they do drop off pretty quick. I mean, you're already down to 4-star talents, 4.5 stars. X, another one that falls off very quick. That's a weak World Tour team. I believe Arkea Samsic was the one that is picking up promotion, and they're doing it with a very weak team. They've got 2 Yeah, T-Bone East, there it is. 2 strong riders. 2 good riders. And then not much left to support. They're going to have a rough time. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode and this season. We are heading into a new one. Let me reiterate this point. This is not the last season for this series. This career mode series will continue on. It's my Pro Cyclist one that is entering its last season. It will be wrapping up at the end of that season, making way for a second career mode. Details yet to be revealed, but I'm really excited for that one. It does have to do with the features that are specific to Pro Cycling Manager 22. But that one will go alongside this one. Now, which one is the 3 episodes per week and which one has 2 episodes per week is still yet to be determined. That may have to do with how well the launch on that one does. But these are the 2 series. So this one will endure. It will continue. There's more seasons to come, not just this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.